Hi everyone, Richard Logan here in Mexico City, Automotive Logistics and Supply Chain Mexico 2024. I'm joined here on the red sofa with Hugo Villicaña, Transportation Manager at Brose North America. Hugo, great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me, Richard. A pleasure to be here.
Yeah, excellent. It's been a fantastic couple of days here in Mexico City, and with Hugo particularly, we've been discussing changing trade dynamics, cross-border logistics, streamlining operations processes. Hugo, what are some of the patterns you've seen emerging over this year, particularly when it comes to cross-border?
I think that one of the patterns that we were not ready to deal with was the, some of the states changes, especially in the Texas area, where we saw the government of the area being having a strong position with the immigrants that led into delays in the cross-border, not only in Nuevo Laredo, but also in El Paso. So we had to work with that, and probably that will only gain strength to next year based on whatever the federal government has to say. So we have to learn how to work with our logistics partners in finding a solution for that. Probably those kind of motion would not only stay in Texas, but probably move all around the Mexico-USA border.
Yeah, excellent. Certainly a dynamic situation at the borders there. Can you share some details of Brose's network design? You're responsible, of course, for transportation across North America, the plants throughout the US and Mexico. Yeah, can you share some details there, please?
Yes, of course. Well, we have a couple of game changers in the organization, Richard. One of those being my team. The Brose Transportation Management team is a quite new initiative. We've been providing service to the organization for the last couple of years, and the whole idea behind this mindset is centralizing the transportation operation in a team that is able to take the right decision, find efficiencies, and provide savings for the organization. The second initiative that will get rolling next year is our MCC, or Mexico's Consolidation Center. It's a new location that will be based in the Querétaro area and will be providing warehousing space for all our Mexico plants, and probably in a future evolutionary state, we will also use it to consolidate volume coming north and south. So that will also allow us to gain efficiencies, being able to save some money and create a better network design with that centralized location acting as a center of gravity for our freight.
Yeah, excellent, thank you. And with border crossings and international flows being so integral for Brose across the region, what are some of the strategies you've prioritized to maximize efficiency, mitigate delays, and reduce empty miles?
One of the main goals of the Brose Transportation Management team is exactly that. How can we evaluate based on the master data, the package information, the orders from our customers that they end up being requirements of part for the supplier? How can we build a network where we try to achieve at least a 90% load utilization in every trailer? And then based on that, not do a logistic network based on a per plan, but a multi-plan delivery based on the clusters of service that we have. That it will allow us to reach out a better efficiency on all our freight.
Yeah, thank you. And nearshoring stands to bring opportunities for car makers, for suppliers, for the full supply chain. How are you working with your partners, your suppliers, your logistics providers to ensure that the demands for extra capacity, extra services doesn't further create bottlenecks and issues, particularly when it comes to border crossings and supply throughout the network?
I think that's a very good question, and I think that Brose as an organization, we have learned to be more stronger and more resilient, and we are trying to think in all the nearshoring as a supply chain event, where we had to get integrated not only with purchasing of our powers, but get the vision and the strategy for our sales and purchasing department. Based on that, let's speak specifically about nearshoring. If we are planning to bring some of our supply base into North America, Mexico, USA, we have to evaluate how that will impact the volume in the area, what kind of capacity we will not need in that area. So we have to work with our logistic purchasing partners. And if we have a strong partner in the region, give them the vision of what is coming so they can secure capacity, not only speaking of truck and trailers, but also drivers. The drivers, I think, is asset that has to be taken off by our logistic partners in order to make sure that we get efficiency, and we also want to be a shipper of choice for our logistic partners. We don't want to keep the drivers waiting to be loaded and unloaded, so it's a mix of all the departments in the supply chains working together to gain the most efficiency for our operation and be successful and take as much advantage as possible from the nearshoring.
Yeah, maximising that potential, absolutely. So last question for me. What would you like to see most from your logistics partners, your providers, just to ensure that Brose's network across North America remains competitive and reliable despite near constant disruption and challenges and uncertainty in the region?
I think that what I look the most from our logistic partners, even being a carrier with dedicated assets or a 3PL or a forwarder, is that given that North America is such a big region compared to some of the European countries, if they can let us know what is happening in the roads, on the market, what is coming, try to tackle threats on the horizon and be able to work a good plan, is something I'm looking from every one of our partners. They give us the vision, we can work together to see what we are going to do. Even recently with all the Easter port strikes, since we were let know with several weeks of advance that was happening, we were able to work with them to see ways to divert the freight. If we had kept shipping to the Eastern seaports, our boats would have been stuck there for weeks. Well, it didn't last weeks, but the domino effects of the shipping on hold creates a bottleneck that lasts 2 weeks. So based on the information, us working together, we were able to mitigate the risk to our plants. Of course, we had to pay some extra money because of the diversion, but at the end, it was cheaper than having, 50 containers stuck on the boat and then having to air freight all that volume from Europe into our location in the Southeast.
Yeah, so investment in partnerships for a stronger, more robust, reliable supply chain.
Yeah, in a sense, our carriers and logistic partners are our eyes on the road. We us being in a desk in the office, we of course we are also watching the news, seeing articles, seeing trends, but they are on the field and they have a sensibility that we have to take advantage of.
Fantastic. Hugo, some brilliant insights there. So great to have you on the red sofa. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Hasta luego.